Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode. Not only is this episode 2 of the Project Duramax build, but I also just wanted to announce that we hit 100 subscribers today. That may not seem like a lot to some of you, but 100 subscribers is still way better than the 10 I had probably 5 or 6 months ago. So that is awesome. It's all because of the support of you guys. So thank you very much, and without further ado, this is episode 2 of the Project Duramax build. If you haven't seen episode 1 yet, I'll put a link up in the corner up here, so make sure you check that out. But we're going to go ahead and show you what's been going on with that thing. Whoa, hold on a second. Do you really think that we were going to get 100 subscribers and I wasn't going to try to at least do a burnout in the truck? Maybe not one of my best attempts at a burnout. Maybe we should save those for the Camaro for now. So let's go on and let's go check out the truck.
Oh, wait.
Riley, what do you think of the truck?
It's cool.
Like it? Okay. So since the last video, I have changed out the front fenders. I've changed out all 4 doors. These doors are off of a 02 Suburban. They're the same doors. They're both black doors, so I was able to swap over all my emblems, so those fit real nice. I cleaned up the front of it a bit, the front bumper. The hood, I've kind of whacked out the dents a little bit. I haven't started any body work on it yet. I am going to repaint the hood and fill all that once I get yanked out a little better. That fender was put on, and both of these doors as well. So if you go back and look at the first video, you really see the difference. The doors and the fenders were all rotted and banged up really bad. So these are actually the painted door handles as well too. They need to be polished up and stuff, but they're going to clean up real nice. They have like some chrome adhesive on them. They look terrible. So I got those put on there. I'm really excited about all that. I got a really good deal on them. The windows are all tinted. I do need to get some mirrors because these ones are broken out, but I got a small story to tell you on this fender right here. These fenders were mint when I got them. These fenders were sitting in the back of the truck, in the blue truck here. Brought them home and took the fender out and set it on the back of a tote, and where it would be safe. And I was pulling a bunch of crap I had out of the back of this truck, and I had a big exhaust pipe sitting in the back of it, and the exhaust pipe fell off and landed on the fender. I was so mad. But to say the least, it's not really the end of the world because I can pull it out and fill it, so that's what we're going to do, but that's not priority right now. We'll get to that. I started yanking it out a little bit. I got the stud puller on there and put a little hole in it, but I'll work on that. The fender is completely solid, which is what was important to me more than anything. So I did get a chance to actually pull the bed off this thing, and I had to put it back on shortly after. So right now I got the bed back on the truck, and I think I got some footage of the cross members, but frame rails they look horrible, but when you actually get the bed off of it, they're really not that bad. The truck was just neglected. It wasn't washed off after it was driven through the winter, so the salt just stayed on there, but it didn't do any permanent long-term damage other than the rear H brace that goes in between here. You can see there's a bunch of rivets that hold it in. That thing's pretty much toast, so I'm going to take that out. I'll find another one out of a junkyard. And the front cross member that holds the front of the gas tank up has a small hole in that as well too. So all those things can be fixed. I can do all that stuff. It doesn't really bother me. The bed is still going to go to the scrap yard, but for now it's just sitting on the truck. It's not bolted down or anything because I started doing some cab corner work, which I'm going to show you next. I got the rear bumper off. I scrapped that because that was just horrible. The cab corner, I started trying to yank out. There was a real big dent here before, and then in the old door all along the side of the truck. So I started yanking this out, and then this cab corner, I started prepping it. And I've only done so much so far, but I'm really gonna have to do inner rockers in this thing in the future. I think I'm probably gonna put some slip-ons on it for now, and I got replacement cab corners for it. At least that actually works. So, got all my extra parts in here right now. I got both cab corners. I have a rocker right now. I also got these flares I picked up from this guy that I purchased the doors from and the fenders. He gave these to me as part of the deal. They're just some aftermarket. They're brand new. They still got double-sided tape on them. But paintable fender flares. So I'm excited about those. I'm gonna get those in the truck once everything else gets on, and I'll paint these gloss black to go with the truck. So the cab corner will be the next thing to work on. Another big thing I did was I changed all of the brake lines in this truck. In the first video, you could see the brake fluid spewing all over the ground everywhere. So I coated this whole front frame with fluid film right now, just because I was sick of looking at the bare rust. But I changed out every brake line in this truck, and I put pre-bent stainless steel brake line kit from Summit Racing. So I'm gonna show you a couple of things on that. That was actually, I've done brake lines before. I've done one on this truck, and I had a 99 before that. I did some on, and they suck to do. If you're bending them yourself and trying to put them on, it's a horrible job. There's no sugarcoating it at all. But doing these lines, I haven't done the two to the booster yet, and you can see this one's rusty, but it's not rotted. So I'm gonna soak these in oil for now. I do have those too, but those go from the booster down to the ABS box under the truck. But you can see stainless lines. So I did all four wheels. Those are the two going to the booster. But they weren't that bad to do at all. It was like $100 for the kit. I would buy it again in a heartbeat. I'm actually thinking about buying them for this truck now and putting them on there, because those things are getting pretty ugly. So let's see if I can get you under here and show you the pre-bent lines. There they are, and then they just run up along the rail up there. So that's what I've done. The interior's got a real good cleaning. In the first video, you could probably see I had wires hanging everywhere. I got the kick panel back in there. That's from that Suburban that I got the parts off of. I cleaned all the carpets up, wiped the seats down. This one's got a small tear in it, but I'll probably end up doing a seat bottom in the future. But interior cleaned up real nice in it. I still haven't got the mirror back on yet. I tried putting it on once, and I couldn't get the epoxy to stick to it very well, so I'll get that in there. But I got the all the old door panels back on into the new doors, so that's all working correctly now. They seem to, their coal's okay. This one could be adjusted a little bit more. You can kind of see the gaps. They're still misaligned. I need to play with those. It's kind of a pain to take these doors off. There's a bolt right here. See if I can get you a bolt there, and a bolt here. And then once you take those bolts out, you got to pop your harness off inside here. You pop this boot out, and then you unplug it, and then you got to take this one 10mm bolt out right here too. And then the door just slides up off of the hinges, off of those hinges right there. And it was really easy to do. It didn't take me long at all to get the old ones off. So working on cab corners. I did put front brake calipers in the truck already. It's gonna need a full brake job. I'm just starting to get the pedal back finally, but the rear calipers are also done, which is why I have the center caps off right now, because I'm gonna get the brake calipers off the rear today and get those brought down to the store and swap them out for their cores and get some new ones. So that's what I'm working on. I've been a little slow with things, other things going on right now, the house and stuff. I'll get more into that in a later video, but exhaust had a nice little hole in it I found when I took the bed off. Probably hard to see it. Yeah, you can see it right there. So I was already looking at the MBRPs kits that to replace the whole header back exhaust system on it. I'm still trying to decide if I want to go with a muffler delete kit or not, or if I want to use a kit that already has the muffler installed in it. So if anybody has run muffler or no muffler, give me some input on that, because I don't really know if it's going to be too loud if I run it without a muffler, or if I run it with a muffler, if it's going to be too quiet. I still want to hear some sound out of it, but I don't want it to be, you know, really obnoxious going down the road. So I did also, one of the first things I did was I replaced the power steering pump on it. That leak when I first got it, was leaking underneath the front of it. The power steering reservoir actually had a hole in the back of it, so I had to change that out. That was kind of a pain. I did most of it through the fender. Down in here, I took the liner out, and I was able to reach up underneath there and do most of it through there. I also changed out fuel filter, which that was funny because never changed out a fuel filter before on a diesel, so buy the filter for it, and then come home at, it was like 7 o'clock at night. It was just about to get dark out, so pull the filter off, and I'm like, oh, just take the filter off, slap it back on real quick. I just used a little bit of diesel and wiped it on the O-ring real quick, put it back on there. Went to go try to start the truck, and it started right up, and I was like, all right, cool, it's all set. And then the thing just dies out. I was like, oh, okay, what did I do wrong? So I'm like thinking off the top of my hand, okay, well, I didn't fill the filter with any fuel, and I also know there's a primer bulb on these trucks, so I've never had a diesel before. I don't know anything about these things really up until the month and a half ago that I actually got this truck. So I'm on YouTube and Google right away trying to figure out what actually happened and what I did wrong. So found out that you do have to actually fill the fuel filter up with fuel first, and then you have to use your primer bulb, which is down right here. Your primer bulb right there, and you gotta pump it up, and then you get your bleeder screw right there that you gotta crack loose, and you gotta bleed all your air out. Any of you guys that have a diesel, I'm sure, know all about this, and they're just laughing at me right now, but live and learn, I guess. I already know a lot more about this thing in the last month and a half than I knew, ever about these trucks. So I've learned a lot along the way, and I'm definitely going to be learning a lot more. I got a lot more coming for the truck. Right now I'm just trying to finish up the brakes on it, and then I can look for a bed for it. I also need to do the rockers and the cab corners. I will be looking for wheels. I haven't decided what I want to do with wheels yet. I'd like to do H2 wheels maybe, but if I don't do H2 wheels, then I'll end up putting something even a little bigger on. So that'll be in the near future. I'm going to do some bodywork videos coming up soon, and also some brake work on it. I'll show you a little more into that, and also need to get a cold air intake for it again too, because that box had rotted off. So make sure you check back for more videos on that. There'll be plenty of stuff posted, so if you haven't subscribed already, now's a good time to do so. Thanks for watching my videos, and take care. Have a good day.